I still remember the exact way she said it. We were sitting inside my car, parked outside her compound, and the rain was falling like God himself was angry. She didn't even look at me. She just stared at the dashboard, then whispered. "Daniel. I'm pregnant." For 2 seconds, my whole body froze. Then my heart started beating fast like a drum. "Pregnant? My baby?" I turned to her, shocked but smiling. "Are you serious?" I asked. She nodded slowly. And I swear, in that moment, I felt like the luckiest man alive. I grabbed her hands. "Amara, you just made me the happiest man in the world." She forced a small smile, but her eyes looked heavy. Like she wasn't happy at all. But I didn't notice that. Because my mind was already flying. Baby names. Our wedding. Telling my parents. Building a future. I even started laughing like a madman. "You don't know what you just did to me," I said. "I'm ready. I'm ready to be a father." She squeezed my hand, but it felt weak. Then she said something that confused me. "Promise me you won't leave." I laughed again. "Leave? Amara, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying forever." She nodded, but her lips were shaking. That should have been my first warning. But love makes you blind. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept imagining holding my child. I kept imagining Amara in a wedding gown. I even started planning how I would propose. Because in my mind, this pregnancy was a blessing. I wanted to do everything right. So the next morning, I went to a jewelry shop and bought a ring. Not too expensive, but beautiful enough. Then I called her. "Baby, I want us to go to the hospital today. Let's confirm everything." She went silent on the phone. Then she said. "Must we go today?" I frowned. "Why not?" She hesitated. "I'm just tired." That answer didn't make sense. But I didn't push. I told her I would come pick her up. When I arrived at her place, she came outside slowly like someone going to court. No makeup. No smile. Just quiet. I tried to make her laugh. I tried to make her feel safe. But she was distant. And every time I asked if she was okay, she would say, "I'm fine." But she wasn't. At the hospital, we sat in the waiting room. She didn't talk. She didn't even touch me. I was the one holding her hand like I was holding a stranger. Finally, the nurse called her name. We entered. The doctor asked some questions, and Amara answered softly. Then the doctor asked, "When was your last period?" Amara paused. Then she gave a date. The doctor nodded and started writing. After that, the doctor said, "Let's do a test and scan." Amara's face turned pale. She looked at me like she wanted to cry. I squeezed her hand. "It's okay. I'm here." She nodded. The nurse led her away for the test. I sat there alone, smiling like a proud father. I even started imagining how I would tell my friends. Then I heard footsteps. Amara came back. But she wasn't alone. A nurse followed her. And the nurse looked serious. Not happy. Not normal. Serious. The doctor looked at the nurse, then looked at Amara. Then the doctor looked at me. That's when my heart started beating again. Not in excitement. In fear. The doctor cleared his throat. "Sir," he said slowly, "can I speak with you outside for a moment?" I blinked. Outside? Amara didn't look at me. Her eyes were on the floor. I stood up, confused, and followed the doctor out. We walked to the hallway. Then the doctor stopped and looked at me with a face like he was about to break bad news. "Are you the husband?" he asked. I shook my head. "No, but I'm her boyfriend. I'm the father." The doctor's eyes changed immediately. His expression became uncomfortable. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "Sir. I'm sorry. But according to the pregnancy timeline, it's not possible that you are the father." I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because my brain refused to accept it. "What are you saying?" I asked. The doctor sighed. "She's approximately 14 weeks pregnant." My chest tightened. 14 weeks. That's more than 3 months. I calculated quickly in my head. 14 weeks meant she got pregnant before we even started dating seriously. Before she started telling me, "I love you." Before she started calling me her, forever. My mouth went dry. That can't be true," I whispered. The doctor looked at me like he had seen this story many times. "It's accurate, sir." My legs became weak. I leaned on the wall. My mind started replaying every memory. Every kiss. Every promise. Every night she told me she was at home. Every time she said she was busy. The doctor continued. "She also refused to provide the father's medical history." "That's concerning." I didn't even hear the rest. All I could hear was the sound of my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I walked back into the room slowly. Amara was sitting down, her hands shaking. She didn't even look up. I stood there, staring at her like I didn't know her anymore. "Amara," I said softly. She swallowed. I didn't shout. I didn't insult her. I just asked one question. "Who is the father?" Silence. The doctor quietly walked out, closing the door behind him. Now it was just me and her. Amara's eyes filled with tears. She opened her mouth but no words came out. I stepped closer. "Who is the father?" I repeated. She finally whispered. "It's not yours." My whole body felt like it got punched. I nodded slowly, like I was trying to stay calm. "So whose is it?" She started crying. Not small crying. Real crying. The kind of crying that comes from guilt. Then she said something that destroyed me completely. "It's your best friend's." My ears rang. My best friend? My own best friend? The guy I trusted with my life? The guy that helped me chase her? The guy that called her my sister? The guy that ate in my house? I couldn't breathe. I backed away like she had slapped me. "No," I whispered. "No, you're lying." Amara shook her head. "I'm sorry. I didn't plan it. It happened before we became serious." My eyes burned. "So why didn't you tell me?" She cried harder. "Because I knew you would leave." I laughed bitterly. "So you decided to trap me?" She screamed. "It wasn't like that." But it was. It was exactly like that. She wanted me to raise another man's child. She wanted me to build a future on a lie. And the worst part? She was ready to let me propose. Ready to let me marry her. Ready to watch me smile while she carried my best friend's baby. I looked at her stomach like it was a bomb. Then I looked into her eyes. "Does he know?" I asked. She hesitated. Then nodded. "Yes." That's when I lost it. I grabbed my car keys and stormed out. She chased me outside. "Daniel, please." People were staring. She held my arm. "Don't leave me." I turned to her slowly. And I said something I never thought I would say to someone I loved. Amara, you didn't just cheat on me. You destroyed me. Her lips trembled. I pulled my arm away. Then I entered my car. Before I drove off, I looked at her one last time. And I said, "Tell my best friend to take care of his child. Because I'm done." Then I drove away. Rain falling. Hands shaking. Heart broken. And as I drove, I realized something painful. Sometimes, the person you love most is the person who will ruin you the deepest.